What I want to do is look, first of all, at religious attitudes immediately before the war, in which religion is often thought to be a force for international peace. Now, frequently, I think, in the historiography, there is a suggestion that religion or religious figures embraced the war, the idea of a holy war in 1914. And I wish to complicate that story a little bit, pointing out that there are very specific reasons for that accommodation that go on in 1914. And then partly through the figure of Benedict XV, who I believe is relatively familiar, I'd like to suggest that Christian ideas of peace continue to play a role in shaping thinking about what a peace might look like while the war itself is still going on. And then finally, I want to talk about religious ideas in the shaping of the peace during the Paris Peace Conference in 1919. So ways in which different ideas from different parts of Christian thinking are coming into interplay during the discussion of peace in 1919, including looking at some of the areas where certain Christian thinkers are uncomfortable with the particular ways that peace is being made during that period. I think the degree to which elements of Christian rhetoric are fed into justifications of war during the war cannot be ignored. But I think there is too much of a tendency to see elements of metaphor and rhetoric which connect with Christianity as themselves independent driving forces in the war, rather than as being part of a more general cultural formation. Which, yes, it does draw on long-standing Christian ideas. But I think more specific Christian ideas have a tendency towards the ideas of creation of a just and lasting peace. And that begins to come back into play in the endgame of the First World War and then afterwards. I think, for example, you can see the way in which ideas that Benedict XV is putting forward, although they may not have an immediate impact, are very much being fed into things like Wilson's 14 points and then into the framework of peacemaking after the war, even if the peace that is being made doesn't quite live up to some of those ideals.